All right, guys, I am JU, and I got a story time for you guys today. And this is going to be a very embarrassing story, but I trust you guys. I know y'all ain't going to laugh at me too much, and I'm going to tell y'all this story because I feel like this story is going to be able to help some people. So I'm 28 years old right now, but this story takes place back when I was about 22, 21 years old, right? So around that time, I met this girl. She was from Jamaica. She was going to one of my local universities, and she was a really cool girl. So after we got to know each other, I did end up. She invited me to her dorm, and the first time she invited me to her dorm, we just kind of chilled and talked and just vibed out. We didn't really do anything. But the second time she invites me over to her dorm, in my head, I'm kind of already knowing what we're about to do because we kind of already talked about it. We kind of got a little bit sexual in the messages. So I already knew that, this time I'm probably gonna be smashing. So I pull up to her dorm like usual. She invites me up. We start talking and, eventually while we're watching a movie, I do make a move on her. And as I'm making this move, I'm noticing in my head, usually at this point, after you've already started kind of making a move, you kind of started up with the foreplay, you start to get a stiffy, right? You start to get a stiffy. But for me, this was not happening. This was not happening. But I'm just thinking like, okay, it's just one of those times. It's gonna take a little bit extra for me to get ready. So at this point, foreplay's over. Me and her, we're both ready to go mentally, right? We're both ready to go mentally. But my man downstairs was not ready at all. He was still on full gummy mode. Now this was like totally embarrassing to me because as a 22-year-old guy that had been with a lot of girls at this time in my life, right? Been with a lot of girls at this time in my life. This has never happened to me, never in my life. So, she's assuming that there's something wrong with her, that I'm not attracted to her. And me in my head, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I just know for whatever reason, my soldier is not trying to stand at attention at this moment. So this was the point in my life when I realized that something was wrong. I had some type of ED going on for sure. But as a young guy, 22 years old, this was not supposed to be happening to me. So I was totally confused on what was going on. But once I started to think about the things that was going on in my life outside of me being with this girl, it all started to make sense. So this happened to me at the beginning of my self-improvement journey, right? I was going from somebody that was smoking every day, drinking a lot, full of anxiety, self-conscious, and um, I don't exude these qualities at this time, right? Even before just me going throughout life, I was always the guy, kind of popular, played sports, all that good stuff, being with a lot of girls. But on the inside, I had a lot of anxiety and I was very self-conscious, and it probably manifested itself some ways in my personality. I also was eating bad foods and I was watching a lot of porn and I was masturbating a lot throughout my high school years and my early college years. So about a month or two before I met her, I had just started going through my self-improvement journey. I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I stopped masturbating, and I stopped watching porn. But at this time, I could tell that my brain had just started to rewire itself. And this is why I was having this performance anxiety when it came to dealing with women, because I was just going from somebody who was overstimulating myself all the time, watching a bunch of porn, masturbating, just all the bad dopamine, entertaining all the things that's giving me bad dopamine. To someone that's now reading, meditating, working out a lot, doing all the good things. So by the time I get with this girl, I'm thinking like I'm healed, right? I'm thinking like everything is good. But you guys gotta understand, if you're going from somebody that was masturbating every day, watching a bunch of porn, to someone that's not, it's not gonna be an overnight change. There's gonna be certain things that you're gonna have to go through. And this was something that I had just realized at this point after that night with that girl. So what did I do? What was my solution to this problem? It was just to stay on path, man. I had to stay on path. I had to continue to do the good habits, and I had to continue to believe that, you know, whatever was wrong at that point, it was going to be fixed through me continuing to do these good habits. A lot of people, when stuff like this happens to them after, you know, they feel like they have a little setback after they made some good changes in their life, usually they fall right back into those old habits. I knew for me, I could not do that. I knew I had to stick to the plan. And then eventually, the next time we did chill and hang out, your boy did seal the deal. Your boy did smash. He was able to put it down, had no issues. But I did have to go through that time period. I actually, now that I think about it, it might was like 2 nights actually that, you know, I think the first night I couldn't, my soldier wasn't standing at all. And then the second night, it took a little bit of time. And then after that, things got back to how it should be for a young man of my age. So I'm telling y'all this story today just for guys out there, older and younger, that, you know, you're dealing with ED problems, erectile dysfunction, or, you know, any type of performance anxiety, that there are natural ways that you can fix it. You don't have to go straight to the honey packs and, you know, the pills and all that stuff. I think if you're an older guy and you're like a much older, like the people who those products are intended for, that's one thing. But us young guys, we gotta let our brains rewire themselves. We been taking all these dopamine hits from the instant gratification, and then we just stop. Yeah, it's gonna be some growing pains. It's gonna be some rewiring going on. You know, your circuitry it gotta repair itself. So I believe that's what happened with me, because this was the first woman I had been with since making that change in my life and deciding that I'm going to get on a self-improvement journey. So the whole time I'm on self-improvement, I'm on kind of monk mode, semen retention and all this stuff, that I didn't even know that I had this problem until me and her, you know, we got together and we tried to do the thing. And I also think all those bad habits was affecting my testosterone levels a lot. And that's why, and that was another reason why I couldn't get my soldier to stand at attention during that time period of, you know, me just having to meeting that girl and us trying to interact with each other. So guys, stay the path. Don't let bumps in the road, little hiccups, or if you are someone that you are dealing with any type of ED and you're a young guy, like you're, you know, because I think it's guys that's teenagers now having these problems with like performance anxiety and ED nowadays. And I'm telling you, it all has to do with your habits. Luckily, I wasn't at the point where, you know, because I think some guys, while they're doing these bad habits, they're also having these problems. Luckily, I wasn't at that point. For some reason, for me, it was like after I stopped those habits, I started having those problems. But I think it was just different levels of anxiety. And like I said, my brain trying to rewire itself. But guys are having these problems while they're doing the bad habits, the smoking, the drinking, the eating the bad foods and all that stuff. You got to realize it's like this world we're living in nowadays. Almost everything that is around us is attacking our testosterone. It's attacking our masculinity. So we got to be aware of this. We got to always delay gratification, focus on the things that are purposeful to us in the long term, that long-term fulfillment, family, purposeful work, achieving our long-term goals. Like those are the things that are gonna give us that long-term fulfillment. So I hope this video helps some guys out there just to know that you're not alone. You know, I'm gonna put myself out there just so you guys can, you know, feel like, yo, it's somebody with you. And I'm always someone that you can hit up if you are having certain problems. You know, hit me up, do a consultation. Or if it's just like a quick question you got, you can always hit me in the DM or whatever. I got you. I'm here for you guys. But, you know, if you got some value out of this video, give your boy a like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, love y'all. I'm out.